Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we are continuing our discussions on prosody. What is prosody? Before we talk further about prosody, let's get flashback. Let's get flashback to what we discussed last meetings. Last meetings we talked about, or we were focusing on segmental sounds. What are segmental sounds? Segmental sounds are actually the things are not real because the real one is utterance. But for the purpose of phonetic analysis, a certain utterance can be chunked into segments, can be segmented into segments, can be parted into segments, can be chunked into segments, can be segmented into segments that are called, and then the segments, based on the characteristics, the segments are categorized into consonants, vowels, and diphthongs. And we already talked about consonants, vowels, and diphthongs last meetings. Okay? And today we are going to talk about prosody. Prosody or suprasegmental features. Okay, before we continue, let me give you a philosophical analogy. Okay, in our real life, we are dealing with natural things. What are natural things? Natural things are the things that we can easily see by using our bare eyes. Natural things can be easily perceived by our bare eyes. But as someone, or as people who believe in God, as someone who believes in God, so you believe that out of the natural things, there are supranatural things. What are supranatural things? Supranatural things are some things which are not easily perceived by our bare eyes, by our sense, but that there are there. Okay, that is the reason why, because it is out of the natural things, the supranatural, the things are called supranatural things. Let's come back to our discussion. In phonetics, we talk about segmental sounds, but remember, pronunciation is not only dealing with consonants, vowels, and diphthongs, but there are some other things out of segmental sounds. And we are going to talk about them. And because they are out of the segmental matters, we call them suprasegmental features. Not suprasegmental sounds, but suprasegmental features. The features are there in the pronunciation. Hopefully, the philosophical analogy can help you to understand what are suprasegmental features or prosody. Okay? To make it clearer, let me give you an example. I told you already that pronunciation is not only dealing with consonant, vowels, and diphthongs. For example, the English equivalent for Indonesian word rapi is tidy. Listen, the English equivalent for Indonesian word rapi is tidy. The pronunciation should be that way. Tidy, not tidy, not tidy. It should be tidy. Okay, and then you can see that tidy, tidy, tidy are segmentally the same. Okay, listen. Tidy, tidy, tidy are segmentally the same. Why? Because the utterance consists of consonant t, diphthong I, consonant d, and vowel E. But your ear, okay, can see that there is difference between tidy, and tidy. So what are the difference? So the differences are discussed as suprasegmental features, as suprasegmental matters or suprasegmental features. Yeah. What's the difference between tidy and tidy? So we can see that actually the utterance tidy, yes, consists of what you call that, consonant t, diphthong I, and then consonant D, and then vowel E. Yes, you can explain it that simple, but when we are coming to what you call that suprasegmental features, you have to explain that based on your perception. So actually tidy consists of two elements. What are the elements? Ti and D. And in prosody, or in the discussions of suprasegmental features, they are called syllables. Okay? What are syllables? Syllables is element of utterance which is produced in one air exhalation. Okay? The word tidy consists of two syllables. What about the word book? How many syllables? Yes. Book consists of one syllable. You, okay, consists of one syllable. Sky consists of one syllable. What about flower? Flower, yes, flower consists of two syllables. What are they? Flower and word. And then what about expensive? Expenses consist of three syllables. What are they? Ex, pen, and set. Okay? And then if you want to know how many syllables certain word consists of, you can check the dictionaries, Longman dictionary. Let's focus on Longman dictionaries. Our mazhab is Longman dictionary. Why I underline, please, what you call that, refer to Longman dictionary. When we study, we have to follow a certain mazhab. I ask you to follow that, not Cambridge, not William Webster. Let's make Longman as our mazhab. Okay. Yeah. Book consists of one syllable. Study consists of two syllables. What are they? Star and D. And then develop consists of three syllables. What are they? D, the, and love. Development consists of four syllables. What are they? Development. When we are talking about syllables, we have to pay attention to the notions of nucleus, like in what you call it, development. Okay, development. Development. Okay. So in D, the development, in the first syllable D, the nucleus is vowel E. There, the nucleus is vowel Lep, the nucleus is vowel In month, the nucleus is vowel Okay. In tidy, there are two syllables. In tidy, the nucleus is diphthong I. In the syllable D, the nucleus is E. So we can, in Fauzi, how many syllables are there? There are two. The nucleus is in vowel, the nucleus is ow, and then in Z, the nucleus is vowel E. You can see that the segmental sounds that can become the nucleus are vowels or diphthong. And then the question is, what is a nucleus? Nucleus is the core, the main part of the syllable. Syllable is an element of pronunciation, element of utterance, which is produced by one exhalations of air. And then let's come back to development. D consists of nucleus E, that is the consonant the, as coda, as onset. What is onset? Onset is consonant occurs before nucleus. The, there consists of nucleus A and onset V. Lep consists of nucleus onset and coda P. What is coda? Coda is a consonant occurs after the nucleus. Ment, there is nucleus onset and then coda n and t. The t here is izhar, zahir, ment. Okay. Oh, there are two consonants becoming the coda, so it is called double coda. Like in fly, so which one is the word consisting of one syllable, fly? Which one is the nucleus? The nucleus is I. What about the other ones? F and O are onset. F and O. Okay. So fly consists of nucleus I and double onset of O. Okay? Yeah. So we already talked about the first aspect, the first feature of suprasegmental matters, syllabic structure. When we are talking about syllabic structure, we have to pay attention to the nucleus, the onset, and the coda. Coda can be single, onset, coda can be single, can be double, can be triple as well, like complex, plex, p, l, e, k, x. Okay. Yeah, it's better for you to read the pages that I recommended talking about syllabic structure. Suprasegmental features or prosody is not only dealing with syllabic structures, but also dealing with another one which is called stress. When we talk about the word tidy, so it should be pronounced as tidy. Let's take another word. You know Sundanese word maung. The English equivalent for Sundanese maung is tiger, not tiger, not tiger. So why should it be tiger? Because the word tiger consists of two syllables, and then the first syllable is given stress. Okay, stress is another aspect of suprasegmental features. The word present, like in the utterance, our faculty proudly presents. Okay, so present is verb, activity, and then the product of the activity of presenting is present. Present is different from present. Okay, so the word present consists of two syllables. The word present also consists of two syllables, but the word present, the syllable that gets stressed is the second syllable. Meanwhile, in the present, the syllable being given stress is the first syllable. Okay. So we already talked about syllabic structure, syllabic structures. We already talked about stress, okay, and then the word photo. So when we are talking about photography, you can see different stress, right? Check in dictionary how the stress is given. Photography. But when another word dealing with that word is like in photographic, so the stress are moving. Okay, the photographer, so not photographer but photographer, and then the second syllable is given main stress. And then when we are talking about stress, there are main stress, that is major or main stress, and then there is secondary stress and tertiary stress. Why don't you check the pages that I recommended to get clearer explanations about major stress, secondary stress, and tertiary stress given to certain syllables. Okay? Let's me continue to another aspect of prosody or another suprasegmental features, so-called length. Let me give you an examples. Everybody, boys and girls, please sit on your seat. Please sit on your seat. Yes, the pronunciation should be something like that. Not please sit on your seat. The other way around. Because sit, the nucleus of sit is short vowel, and then the word you call that the nucleus of seat is long vowels. Besides, there are also different vowels, and then there is also durations or length given to the pronunciations. When you are studying Arabics, you are dealing with harokat. Harokat is length. Okay? So you have to pay attention. We are going to talk about this later in phonology. So the word amin is different from amin, is different from amin, is different from amin. Okay? So what makes them different are length or durations of the pronunciation. We already discussed three aspects of prosody or suprasegmental features: syllabic structure, stress, there are some types of stress, and length or different durations of pronunciations of a certain segments or certain syllables. And the fourth aspect of prosody, or the fourth feature of suprasegmental matters, is pitch. And it turns out that pitch consists of two things: tone and intonation. What is tone? Tone is different frequency given to a certain given to the pronunciation of a certain syllable. If you join a vocal group, if you join choir, so your coach, your trainer will ask you to pronounce na 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 na. They are just the same. They are identical. The first is na, the second is na, the third is na, the fourth is na. Consists of alveolar nasal alveolar sounds, nasal alveolar consonant n and as the onset, and then central low vowel as the nucleus. But they're different, Pak Fauzi. The first is na, the second is na, 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 na. What makes them different? Tones. The first na has low tone. The second na has a higher tone compared to the first. Na, na, na. And then the others are higher and higher. So they are called tones. Okay? We are going to talk about tonal languages in phonology later. The tones that makes difference in meaning. When we are talking about meaningful sounds, we are already in the level of phonology later. The second aspect of pitch is intonation. The first is tone and the second is intonation. What is intonation? Intonation is sequence of tones. Sequence of tones given to the syllables, of course. So the intonations of the word is photography. Not photography, but photography. And then the intonations of the utterance, for example, if you want to ask someone whether or not he or she loves you, he or she loves you, you will ask, do you love me? So there is a pattern of intonation. Do you love me? Okay. And then the answer is yes. Okay. And then because the answer is yes, and then you want to know, so you capo, you want to know the every single particular object. Right? Do you love me? Yes. And then the next question is, why do you love? Do you love me? Do you love me? So it is the intonation is rising. And then because do you love me? And then if you want, when you are asking, when you make a questions by using WH question, the intonation is, why do you love me? Because you are focusing on why. So that is the reason why is given stress, and then why do you love me? WH question is usually realized as falling intonation. Meanwhile, yes or no questions is usually realized as rising intonation. For example, where do you live in Bogor? The answer is no. Oh, no. So where do you live? The pronunciation should be like that. Not where do you live? Not something like that. Okay? Please realize the appropriate pronunciation. Okay, everybody. Oh yeah, talking about intonation. There is flat intonations. There is falling intonations, and there is rising intonation. Please get well informed by reading the pages that I recommend you. That I recommended you. Well, everybody, let me summarize what we have been discussing. So today we are talking about prosody or suprasegmental features. What are suprasegmental features? Why are they called suprasegmental features? Because they are aspect of pronunciations out of the segmental matters. That is the reason why they are called suprasegmental features. What are they? They are syllabic structures in which we are talking about nucleus, onset, and coda. And then the second aspect of prosody is stress given to certain syllables. There are major stress, secondary stress, and tertiary stress. And then after that, after stress, there is also what you call that? After stress, there is stress, and then stress. After stress is still remember before stress? Before we discuss about stress, we talk about. Still remember? Syllabic structure, stress, before we talk about pitch, before we talk about tone and intonation. Okay, still remember? Okay, syllabic structure, and then stress given to certain syllables, length. Okay, length, and then what you call that, pitch and intonation. Okay, everybody, thank you very much for watching this video. We will continue our discussion next meeting. So let me stop. Let me close this discussion by saying Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.